Hello, friends. Good to see you all again today. My name is Mariana Svarnik, and I am your Sahaja online instructor for today. And we are in our second session of our series, where we are introducing Sahaj meditation, the techniques, the main sort of concepts, practices. And so our today's topic is daily meditation techniques. So we are going to introduce two of the main sort of things that we do on a daily basis as part of our preparation to our meditations. Now, before I continue, or as I continue, last week we were talking about self-realization. So if there are any questions, if you would like to ask anything or share something, whatever worked this week for you or didn't work, what you've experienced, any clarifications that are required, please feel free to type them in the chat, and I will address them as we are going. But today's sort of topic, one of the main things that has to do with our daily techniques requires a little bit more of an introduction, or a little bit of a more detailed introduction about our inner energy. The Sanskrit name of our inner energy is Kundalini. It means the coiled energy, or the coiled power. And so it refers to the energy being normally in a sort of coiled form at the base of the spine. Now, this energy is an energy that balances and nourishes our system, right? So it is a sort of a guardian of our subtle system, of our energy centers and energy channels. Whenever there is something that is not right in our system, provided that the energy, our inner energy, our Kundalini energy, is in a state where it can act. So provided, for example, that we have sat down and put our attention aside and ask the energy to start balancing us, then our energy will go and try to fix whatever it is that is not right in our subtle system. And sometimes it is a quick fix, and other times it takes a while. And sometimes it might take a few weeks or even months, or even longer, for our energy to actually correct the sort of old kinds of problems that we might have collected long time ago, or that have been reinforced over and over and over. So the kind of damage that our subtle system took on, especially if it was the damage that was recurrent, it might take longer to reverse. And some of that damage might not be fully reversible, but often actually it is quite surprising of how much of the damage that has happened to our subtle system can be gradually undone. And the techniques that we'll be talking about today are instrumental in that. So the reason why our energy can do this work is because it can connect to the all-pervading energy. So once our energy is awakened through the process of self-realization that we have talked about and hopefully experienced last week and during this week as we practice at home, through this process, our inner energy is awakened and it starts flowing through the system. And once it actually crosses the 6 energy centers that are above, it connects to the all-pervading energy. And so the more it is connected and the better the connection, the more our own energy grows stronger. And as a result, it can actually balance our system more effectively. It can recover or cure the problems in our system that are deeper and sort of more serious kinds of problems, as opposed to just easy fix superficial things. So the more frequently we reconnect, and this happens when we sit down, we ask our energy to awaken, and we bring our attention inside. We remember that we are the spirit, we're not this body, these thoughts, our belongings, all of this stuff. This is what allows our energy, or gives our energy the green light to start flowing through the system and to connect to the all-pervading energy. So the more we do that, the stronger our energy grows with time. And this is why it is important for us to sit down and do this on a daily basis. So to allow our energy to reconnect and to charge by being connected to universal energy and to balance our system. The more our system is balanced or cleared out, again, the more of our energy can start flowing through the system, the connection becomes better. The better the connection, the better, the stronger the energy becomes. So this is like a positive reinforcement loop that happens. Now, as sort of in its pure form, our inner energy is experienced as a cool breeze. So if you have maybe experienced that either last week or even as you meditated at home, you might have experienced sort of a cool breeze above the head or on the palms of your hands. Even if you experienced it briefly, this is the sort of the pure expression of our inner energy. And it indicates that at least for some time, as that we were experiencing it, the energy was able to flow through the system without any major obstructions. Now, sometimes we feel heat or tingling on our hands, on top of the head. Also, some people feel it directly in the energy system. This indicates that there are some imbalances in the system and that the energy is actually working on those. And this is when we feel heat or tingling. Now, our energy is not some just kind of mechanical or physical thing. Even though it is a subtle energy or a spiritual energy, but it is a living kind of an energy. And so our energy responds to our desires, our wishes, what it is that we want, what it is that we ask. And it really helps to develop a bit of a relationship, if that can be said so, with our own inner energy. And so we'll experiment a little bit with this today and see how it feels. Try it at home and see whether it makes any difference for your meditation. So this energy is the motherly, reflects the motherly aspect, or the sort of this feminine power of the universe. And so we often refer to it as mother. It's our own individual sort of spiritual, subtle mother that exists within us and takes care of our system as the mother would take care of a child, right? And so this is something we'll try today, and you can see whether it makes any difference for you in what you experience or how you experience meditation. All right. So what we will do today, what we will start with today, we will start with raising our, what we call raising our energy. And this is what we usually do at the beginning of meditation and at the end of meditation. Sometimes we'll also do it in other kinds of circumstances. For example, we usually do it before we leave home. Or when we need to sort of, when we feel that we're out of balance and we want to kind of get into balance and sort of get into balance effectively and quickly, this is what we will do. And so we'll do it all together, and then we'll have our meditation. And so in the meditation today, we will go again through the same steps of self-realization as we did last time. But what we will do is we will address our all these affirmations to our inner energy And if you're comfortable, you can address her as mother. Otherwise, you can just address her as inner energy. And we'll see whether us sort of remembering that the energy that is within us is a living energy and responds to us, whether that awareness also makes any difference to the quality of our meditation. And then after our sort of first meditation, I'll introduce another very important, though very simple technique that we do usually on a daily basis. It's called foot soaking technique. We'll have some time also for Q&A if there are any questions at that point. And then if we still have time left, we'll have another short meditation at the end of the session, and then we'll continue with our lives and sort of get ready with our evening, whatever else we need to do. All right. So it doesn't look like there were any questions so far, which is all right. We can sort of get ready. So find kind of a comfortable way to sit. If you're sitting on a chair, you can place both your feet flat on the ground without shoes, slightly apart. If you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, if that works for you, that is also just fine. And we'll start by raising our energy, and we will do that by following a video that I will play, and we will all follow along with it.
Sit comfortably on a chair and relax. You may close your eyes if it helps you to relax and focus. Now, focus your attention on the top of your head. The goal is to raise your inner energy to the crown of your head and tie it up. As the energy rises up your spine, it will gradually shift your consciousness into the state of thoughtless awareness. To raise your inner energy, first place your left hand in front of your lower abdomen with your palm facing your body. Then slowly raise your left hand to the top of your head, and as your left hand is ascending, rotate your right hand around it in a clockwise direction, swirling around and around until both hands are above your head. Now, imagine that you are tying a knot with a short rope, and using both hands, perform the gesture of tying a knot above your head, as if you are actually tying up your inner energy. Now, lower both hands, and starting with your left palm facing your lower abdomen, repeat this process of raising the energy and tying the knot 3 times. The second time, tying 2 knots at the top of your head. The third time, tying 3 knots at the top of your head. This technique will help focus your attention and raise your inner energy to the crown chakra or energy center. The goal is to raise the energy, achieve a connection to the universal cosmic energy through your crown energy center, and establish the state of meditation. Now, you want to form a shield of protection to protect your subtle energy system and to preserve your ability to remain in the state of thoughtless awareness. First, place your left hand on your lap, palm upwards. Next, place your right hand beside your left hip. Slowly raise your right hand over your head and sweep it down the right side of your upper body. Then sweep your right hand back up the right side of your body, over your head, and down the left side of your body. Repeat sweeping your right hand up over your head and down 7 times to form a shield.
All right, very good. So we'll go again through the same affirmations we did last week, just so that we become more and more comfortable. And these are the affirmations you can use anytime and not necessarily all together. You can use them also individually. And with time, you will feel how. All right. So first, we'll take a minute to see where is our attention. To see that we have set aside all the things that are outward. Now we can close our eyes. At any point, if you're not sure where to put your hand, you can open your eyes and take a peek at the current slide, and I will keep moving the slides as we go on. So we'll start by placing our right hand on our heart. The left hand stays open on our lap. And here we will try to address our inner energy. So we'll ask her, Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I the spirit? As last week, we don't need to try and answer this question or argue with this question or potential answers. We just want to start opening up the possibility to encounter the truth that might be not what we mentally assume. Mother, am I the spirit? All right, very good. We'll move our right hand to the lower abdomen on the left side. So our right hand is on the lower part of our stomach on the left, and the left hand stays open on our lap. And here again, we'll slightly adjust this affirmation to include the addressing of our inner energy. So here we say, Oh Mother, please give me pure knowledge. I want to have pure knowledge. Oh Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. All right, very good. We'll move our right hand to the upper abdomen on the left side. The left hand stays open on our lap. The right hand is on the upper abdomen on the left side. The left side of the upper part of our stomach. Mother, I am my own master. I am my own teacher, my own guide. Mother, I am my own master. All right, very good. We'll move our right hand back to our heart. The left hand stays open on our lap. And here we'll affirm, Mother, I am the spirit. I am the pure self. Mother, I am the spirit. I am the pure self. Something very important happens here. And so it's great if we can really let it happen and feel very carefully to see whether we can experience this really is a special place here. So when our inner energy, our motherly energy reaches our heart from the base of the spine, then our spirit also becomes empowered. And we might start experiencing our spirit in a way that we might not have experienced before, or have not experienced before very often. Oh, Mother, I am the spirit. I am the pure self. All right, very good. We will now place our right hand on the left side of our neck, in the corner between neck and shoulder. We can slightly turn our head to the right. Mother, I am not guilty of anything at all. Now here we have to know that as our mother, our energy doesn't want us to feel guilty, doesn't want us to carry this useless and paralyzing kind of a feeling. So we want to really allow our energy to wash out any residual feelings of guilt that we might still be carrying. We really need to become free of our guilt. Mother, I am not guilty of anything at all. Please wash out all of my guilt. Oh, Mother, I am not guilty of anything at all. If I am the pure spirit, I cannot be guilty because the spirit is completely pure without any guilt. Here we really want to allow both our energy and our spirit to raise us above any feelings of guilt. Raise our awareness and purify our subtle system at this level. All right, very good. Now we'll place our right hand across our forehead. Can bend our head slightly so that our forehead is resting in our palm. And here we'll say, Mother, I forgive everyone and everything. And I also forgive myself. Oh, Mother, I forgive everyone and everything. And I also forgive myself. This energy center is the last obstacle to our meditation and to our connection with the all-pervading energy. So here we really want to quickly get rid of any other baggage. Just forgive it all. Just leave it all behind. Oh, Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. Right? Very good. And now our last step in the self-realization sequence. We'll place our right hand on top of the head. We can still keep our hand a little, keep our head a little bit bent forward. And here we'll move our scalp clockwise, massaging the top of the head. And we'll ask, oh, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. All right, very good. We'll slowly place our hand back on our lap. And then let's see whether we can just allow our energy to flow more and more and really get us into the state of silence, into the state of thoughtless awareness, when we're aware, but we are not thinking. Now here we want to try and relax as much as possible and get out of our usual stance where we always feel like we need to achieve something, we need to do something, we have to complete something. Here, the only thing we need to achieve is to learn how to stay back, do nothing, and allow our energy to work this out while we just pay attention to our energy. Keep attention on top of the head. Any point when we find that we got distracted or we are not quite feeling it, we can ask with full sincerity, oh, Mother, please bring me into the state of meditation. Please let me experience the state of meditation. Mother, please let me feel your flow. and your healing presence. And then we just watch, we just observe. Don't need to have any expectations. You don't need to force anything. Just pay attention. We become distracted, start thinking, bring our attention back to the top of the head. We normally live such hectic and disturbing lives. It's okay if it's taking time for us to feel the silence and feel this healing effect of our inner energy. Our life desensitizes us. So to recover our spiritual sensitivity might take a little bit of time. We need to be patient with ourselves. Mother, please clear away all of my thoughts, all of my doubts, all of my concerns. Please let me experience the pure silence. Please let me experience your healing presence. Okay, very good. We can slowly open our eyes. Now, when during meditation, or usually towards the end of the meditation, we want to sort of go through a little checklist of what we felt, right? We can always check with our right hand above our head whether we feel the flow of energy on top of the head, whether it's cool or warm, maybe it's tingly, or maybe we don't feel anything. And some days we might not feel anything. All right, put the right hand back, try the same with the left hand. So the right hand is open on our lap, the left hand is above our head. Can see whether we feel the flow of energy. And if we do, how does it feel? Is it cool? Which means that the energy is passing without major obstructions. Is it warm or hot or tingly, which would mean that the energy is clearing out some imbalances. Or maybe we don't feel anything. It's important here to not try to feel something that we don't feel, just to see, do we feel it or do we not feel it? Right? Very good. We'll place both of our hands open in front of us. And let's see whether we feel any sensations in the palms of our hands. You might feel different things in different parts of the hand. So we want to see, okay, what do we feel in the center of the palm? What do we feel in the fingertips? Are any fingertips standing out as particularly hot or tingling? Often we'll feel that. All right, very good. Another thing that we might want to notice towards the end of meditation is, have we managed to not think even for a very short time? Have we managed to get to this blank kind of state? We might want to notice what is our emotional state. How are we feeling in terms of emotions? And often people also report that they feel quite different in their body. They feel much more relaxed, and often one feels that as the energy passes through the system, that some areas that were really tense or cramped up or painful, they somehow manage to relax and release. So these are also things to notice. Right? Now, what you have here on the screen, we have this sort of enlarged map of our hand, and you can see that there are numbers. So the places on the palm, the base of the palm, the center of the palm, and the fingertips, they're all numbered. And so these numbers correspond to the numbers of the energy centers along the spine. And so on the right hand, we feel usually the state of our centers along the right channel. The left hand, we feel the centers along the left channel. And if we feel the same, let's say we feel tingling in, say, both of our middle fingers, that would indicate that this is what we are feeling about the state of our whole center, both right and left. So generally along the central channel. And as we progress, you will notice that some things that you feel are fleeting, right? So you feel it and then it's gone. You had a meditation, or especially you had the foot soak, which we'll talk about in a moment, and it's gone. It's you feel there is no more tingling. It's just cool, or you might feel this like light open kind of a feeling, right? And so these are things that we don't really need to pay much attention to, because, I mean, this is our life. We go out, we do whatever it is that we need to do, and often in the process, our system gets a bit of a beating, and we acquire imbalances in the system, and some of them just clear out almost instantaneously after one meditation. They're gone, right? So those we don't need to worry about. But then you will also find that there are some things that you feel that are there consistently. Like you always feel this particular finger tingling, for example. Or, even after a wonderful meditation where you're mostly thoughtless and you feel like you went deep, you still feel that one tingling that is sitting there. These are indicative of a bit of a deeper sort of imbalances we might have. and they might require a little bit of sort of additional attention. And so gradually, as we continue, we will talk a bit about, okay, what to do about those, and what are the simple things that we can do about the imbalances that we feel frequently, right? The same kind of imbalance that we feel that is, persistent. And so eventually we'll go for those. But this is sort of just a look into the sort of not quite complete beginner topic. The reason I wanted to mention it is because it is one of the ways that our own energy communicates back to us and lets us know if something requires a bit more of attention or a bit more of balancing. And sometimes it also might require a change in what it is that we're doing or how we're doing things. And so sometimes things like, taking particular action or changing the way that we approach particular challenge in life might help us not make the particular imbalance engraved more and more and more into our system. So, but this is part of that feedback. We ask our energy to balance our system, and our energy does balance our system, and then our energy will take out a lot of the imbalances just by us doing nothing. And then there are some things that might require us to do a little bit of additional thing, and our energy will let us know. Now, if you did not feel anything on your hands, or if you did not feel it clearly enough, then the next technique is definitely for you. And so we call this a foot soaking technique. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this video, but I will play it on mute. So basically, it is a technique that involves us meditating while we put our feet in a bucket of water with some salt. And this is a technique that we do pretty much every day. So unless I am traveling somewhere in the airplane for a long time and a couple of stopovers and I cannot do that, I will do it religiously on a daily basis. So basically we need some salt, and here, just for the purpose of the video, you see a lot of salt. You don't quite need that much salt. I usually use like maybe equivalent of like tablespoon of salt. You need to prepare some clean water that you will use to rinse your feet once you're done, and a towel to dry your feet. And then what happens is that you have a bucket that you fill with lukewarm water to start with. You put the salt in there. And again, this is a lot more salt than what I usually put. And then you put your feet in the water. And then what we'll see happens is that Melanie here, who's doing the demo for us in the video, she will raise her Kundalini, her energy. Some people do it before they put the feet in the water. Some people, meditate a bit and then do the foot soak. So then they would have raised their energy when they started. It doesn't necessarily has to be done right after you put your feet in the water. You can do it before. Generally, we do this when we start meditation. So if you're going to start your meditation with foot soak, this is a perfect way of doing it. And I usually do it that way because usually I don't wait to see whether I need a foot soak. I just take the foot soak and prepare it and do that. And this is something that we do, especially in the evening, as part of our evening meditation. But depending on how your life is and depending on how you feel, you might want to do it whenever it is that it's practical for you to do it. So it's better to do it not in the evening rather than not do it at all. So if for some reason you can't do it in the evening, do it in the morning, or do it when you come back from work, or do it at any time that you can do it. But in the evening, it really works very well to sort of take out any kinds of small things, small imbalances that we have accumulated, right? And it really works wonderfully. So put your feet in the water, raise the energy, put yourself in this protective shield, and you can meditate for maybe 10 to 20 minutes. And now here you can combine the foot soak with any other sort of part of meditation. So for example, I'm going to pause this. You can go through the affirmations of self-realization if you want to. Or you can find a recording of our session where we have a guided meditation and play it while you're doing foot soak, right? And meditate along with the guided meditation while your feet are in the foot soak. And then you can do other things that we will also cover in the following weeks, right? You can balance particular energy centers or channels, or you can just sit with your hands open, remember that you are the spirit, and try to reach the silence, ask the energy to take out all the imbalances into the water. Now, after about 10 to 20 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that, you see what Melanie is doing here. She's raising again her energy, and then she will rinse her feet and throw the water out. Normally, what I do, I will rinse my feet, throw the water out, wash my hands, and then I will sit down and meditate for another few minutes, 5-10 minutes, whatever it is that I still have time. And then once I'm done, then I will raise my energy again. So I will not be raising my energy in between meditation. As long as it's the same sort of chunk of meditation, I will raise it at the beginning, I will raise it at the end, right? And then wherever the foot soak fits in there, I will do the foot soak without necessarily doing another raising of Kundalini at the beginning or end of the foot soak specifically. But if your whole meditation is just the foot soak, then this is how you would do that, right? You would just then raise your energy again, then rinse your feet, and I think we'll see her do it right now. Throw the water out in the, you can throw it down the toilet and then flush it. We have a sort of a separate kind of a sink where we just use it for the foot soak. So we dump the water there, we rinse. So she's rinsing the feet, she's gonna dry them, throw the water out, rinse the bucket, wash the hands, and then you're done. If you're me, that means you're gonna sit down and meditate for a few more minutes, and then raise the energy again and put yourself in a protective shield. If you were just doing the foot soak and you're done, you can raise your energy before you rinse your feet. So sorry for giving you so many different options, but this is the thing with Sahaj, that it is very practical, and as long as you understand what is the purpose of whatever it is that you're doing, you can adjust it to whatever makes sense. Now I'll pause again if there are any more questions about anything that we did today or anything else that was unanswered. Please feel free to ask. So there is a question about where we can get the music. The music is a little bit of a tricky thing because usually what we play in the sessions are the kinds of music where we know that this music actually has good energy, and so that's why we play it. But it might take some time for you to develop the sensitivity of, okay, what music does have good energy, what doesn't necessarily have good energy. So generally speaking, if you're playing sort of a classical type music, and we often play Indian classical music, often it will be sort of on the safer side, though not 100% of the time. Western classical music also often will be quite on the safer side, though again, not all the time. It depends who's playing the music. So So something that I can do is I can send some links to the music that I play, and this is something that works for me, and so I went and bought it on iTunes, right? And but also because I know who made it. So this is what I do, and I can share that. Um, if that, okay, perfect. You're most welcome. All right. And with time you will be able to tell, because sometimes when we are a little bit out of balance, we the us that is not necessarily the spirit want the music that will make us, that will reflect our feelings out of balance, right? If we are a little agitated, we will want music that's, or we will be drawn to music that's a little bit even more agitating. If we are sad and then lethargic or nostalgic, we will want music that will reflect those feelings. But ultimately, this is not what is helpful, because what we need is something that will take us into the balance. And so it is not that easy to come by the music that actually is not taking us out of balance, but brings us back into the balance, into this central sort of position, as opposed to being into the right channel or into the left channel. We'll talk a little bit about this in our future sessions. So this time you will be able to tell. And also, as your sensitivity to energy increases, so once you can feel the flow of energy quite well on your hands, you will see that some music, once you play it, your energy starts flowing more. And then you know, okay, this is right. And some of it might be situational. So sometimes it's something that is good for you at that time. And some other music, it will be like that all the time. Anytime you play it, it will improve the flow of energy on your hands. And so this is how you will know, and you'll collect those pieces, right? And see who's playing it, and see what else this person is doing, right? So yeah. All right. So we don't. Thank you very much for the question. That was a good question, even though not an easy one to answer. So we don't have time today for our second meditation. What we'll do is just briefly go over the homework, right? The homework is the same as last week. We want to dedicate 20 to 40 minutes a day. If we can do it twice a day, that's perfect. Otherwise, once a day is also a good start. We will start our meditation with raising the inner energy, and I'll send you the link in the newsletter over the weekend of just the video of raising the energy, so that you don't have to remember. And then you can either follow self-realization steps, or you meditate in silence. And then at the end, you raise your energy again, your inner energy again, and put yourselves into the protective shield again. And so if you can do it twice a day is wonderful. And once a day, if you can combine your meditation with the foot soak, that would be amazing. And that really works amazingly well for improving our sensitivity to the energy and improving the quality of our meditation. So I personally cannot live without foot soak, because our life is such that we really need it, right? And so this is something that we recommend very much. And now we'll just raise our energy together again. I will not play the video, I'll just walk you through it. So I'll move a little bit further. So our left hand is going up, and the right hand is rotating around our left hand. And we reach the top of the head, we tie a knot. All right, we do it 3 times. The second time, we'll tie 1 or 2 knots on top of the head. And the third time, we'll tie 3 knots on top of the head. All right, very good. Now the left hand is open on our lap. The right hand will go to the left hip, and from the left hip, go over top of the head to the right hip and all the way back over top of the head. This is 1. And we do this 7 times, back and forth, 2, 3. You don't really have to count. If you do more, that's okay. It's 4, 5. We want to do at least 7, 6, and 7. The 7th one you can just leave where it is. You don't have to take it back. See whether we feel the flow of energy on our hands right after doing that. Often we'll feel it. And that's it. You're good to go. So thank you very much for coming today and meditating live with me. And we will see you next week. And we'll continue next week. And over the weekend, I will send a newsletter with additional information. Thank you very much. All the best.